Books, books, and more books. And what's better than new books? New books that are super inexpensive. Here is our Sonlight book haul for the year. If you're new here, I'm Rian, a Christ-following wife and a homeschool mom to 3 boys. Here we talk all things homeschool, and we will learn together how to use our roles as wife, mom, teacher, and homemaker in order to glorify God. So I thought about doing a video after I have all of our books and separating it out by curriculum, because we're doing 2 different cores for Sonlight this year, plus some language arts Sonlight. But it just did really well last year when I just shared my books as we got them. And so we're just gonna do that. It's a lot easier on me instead of having to wait for certain books to come in. So I'm just gonna share our haul so far. This is not all of them. This is just what we got off of eBay. So my husband is really into buying stuff off of eBay. I no longer do that. I don't know that I've ever done that. But he has found some really good deals for me. And so I was thinking these were from individual people, but a lot of what these are from random bookstores, and they just also list on eBay, I guess. And so, which is kind of what Abe Books does. I'm getting a whole new shipment in from Abe Books soon, but Abe Books also just, they'll send some from thrift books, they'll send some from Second Sale, they'll send some from just different random bookstores. So I guess they just kind of share inventories, and I don't know. We go through this every year with our Sonlight. We don't buy anything new unless we absolutely have to, because it's kind of wasteful to do that. Both for, actually wasteful as far as if there's used books sitting out there not being used, why not use them? But also, obviously on our budget, it is a lot more resourceful to buy used. So let's get started, and I'll just share as I open books where they're from, even though they're all from eBay. I'll share what store or whatever they came from, and then I'll let you know if I can remember what core they go with. So this first one is actually an individual person. So like I said, occasionally some of them are individual. I did have my husband go ahead and slice them open for me, so you don't have to listen to me just trying to tear these packages open. But this one in specific was from an individual person, so I won't say their name. But this is the Child's Introduction to Poetry. So I believe this goes with our core D and Sonlight. I am 99% sure, but I'm not gonna show a lot inside these because there's way too many books to do that. This came from Red's Corner in Georgia, a returns department. So again, no idea what that is, but cheap book's a cheap book. This is The Secret of the Sealed Room, a mystery of young Benjamin Franklin. This is either the readers for Core D or this is a read aloud for Core D. I'm not sure which one, but Core D is all about American history, so that makes sense. This one is from Gently Loved Books, cheapest online bookstore, buy 2, get 1 free. So I've never heard of them, but like I said, these are actually from eBay. So The Cabin Faced West. I've heard of this book, but I've never read it. I believe this is also a Core D reader, maybe a read aloud, but I think a reader. Not 100% sure, but it goes with Core D. This is definitely for Core D. This is The Beginner's American History from Christopher Columbus to John Sutter by D.H. Montgomery. And this I had a hard time finding for cheap. I think I got this copy for $8, but when I was checking thrift books and places like that, they were all $16 and up. And I'm like, that's kind of a lot for a used book, but it seems, there's a crease in the cover, but it seems definitely still legible. And that was from Book Trolls. This one is World of Books. Sorry, it was smudged there. This is the Usborne First 1,000 Words. So this is for my pre-K Sonlight core for my 4-year-old. We also are supposed to use the Spanish Usborne Words book, but we're not gonna do that this year. We didn't do well with our Spanish this year with our preschooler, so I don't think we're gonna do it next year or this upcoming year. So this is Half Price Books. I have heard of them. This is 101 Favorite Stories from the Bible. This is also for the pre-K level of Sonlight. World Class Imports. Don't know. This is, I don't know what this, whatever that is. This is Jericho's Journey. So this is for level D, but I don't know if it's a read aloud or a reader. So the books that I didn't have to buy this year are my 4th graders readers, because when we started Sonlight, my oldest son was in 4th grade, so we already have all those readers. So that's why you're only seeing preschool and D here. You're not seeing level or grade 4 readers because I've already purchased all those, and I actually did a video on that too. This is from Goodwill. I didn't know Goodwill shipped, but okay. This is Sarah Witcher's story. So I'm not sure, again, if it's a read aloud, or I would assume it's a reader because it's not very big, but I don't know. It's for Core D. This one, the tag got ripped off, so I don't know specifically where it's from. It just says Fulfillment Center. So I don't know what that means. But this is What's Smaller Than a Pygmy Shrew. This is part of the science section of the pre-K Sonlight. And I'm looking forward to these. I haven't actually like read these, but I've heard a lot about them. So has some cool pictures talking about basically life down to the cellular level in a very preschool way, of course, because I actually do not do well with things like that, like periodic table of elements. Not my friend. This is from Bellwether Books. And I know this is a read aloud, or maybe it was just like one of the texts that we'll read from randomly, but for Cordy, The White House is Burning, August 24th, 1814. I'm really looking forward to this one. We've not done, my oldest son is going to 6th grade, and we haven't done like a solid American history curriculum yet. We did like a little bit here and there when he was in kindergarten and 1st grade, but it wasn't like our focus. We were still doing world history. We just did a little bit extra to pick up some US history, but we haven't done like just a full on US history. So I'm getting really excited to actually do that. Okay, and then this one has a lot of books in it. This is from Second Sale. So that is another website, kind of like A-Books, that just shares inventory, I guess, with a lot of different stores and just kind of brings them all in and puts them on their website. This is a child's book of art, great pictures, first words. So this is, I would assume for preschool. I don't remember seeing this one, but I would assume it's preschool. It seems pretty young, but it has really pretty pictures in it. It's really cool. It has like, oh, this is awesome. Okay, so this is like, it says counting, 1 boy, 2 angels, 3 girls, 4 sisters, 5 children. And it's like actual famous paintings. That's really cool. I'm excited for this one. I'm super excited for this. So like a little introduction to picture study. Okay, we have The Corn Grows Ripe. This, I believe, is actually preschool, I thought. It's a little chapter book though. I don't know for sure. Any of these that I get wrong, I'll put letters to let you know if I got it wrong, because I'm just guessing. I've gotten way too many books ordered to keep them all straight in my head. Fever, 1793. This is about, you know, disease in the late 1700s, and man, I can't imagine like living there. Like we think we have epidemic now. Like, no, it was nothing like this. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to that one. I'm hoping that's a read aloud for D and not a independent reader, because I might have to steal it and read it too. So we have the Lewis and Clark Expedition, also for D. And we have Is a Blue Whale the Biggest Thing There Is? So of course this is a different book in that same series for science. And this is just kind of getting them used to some of those science terms and like comparing sizes. Like it takes us all the way outside the galaxy to like let us see how big things really can be. Just like how we went down to a pygmy shrew and smaller, the smallest things there are. And then we also have What's Under the Sea. That's also for science for pre-K Sonlight. We have Nyanuki, I'm probably butchering that. Shoshone Girl Who Ran. So that looks really interesting. Again, I hope that's a read aloud and not an independent reader. Phoebe the Spy, also for D. And then Uncle Wiggly's Storybook. And this is for pre-K, which I really think he's gonna like this. He likes these kind of charmy, old-timey stories. We're reading through just like a book of like regular old like nursery tales, like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, Little Red Riding Hood, Jack and the Beanstalk, Country Mouse, City Mouse, things like that. And he is eating it up. Over all these other books we've read this year, these are his favorite ones. I'm like, okay, cool. So this is from Discover Books. Sarah Plain and Tall, one of those books that I'm like, how have I never read this? I hear about it all the time and I've never read it. So I'm excited to get into that one. Again, this is probably an independent reader, so I'm gonna have to just snag it and like read it. It's a short read. It's an old library copy actually. These next 2 are from World of Books. This is New Toes for Tia. This is for pre-K. This is Why Do Tigers Have Stripes? Also pre-K. And then the Millie, Molly, Mandy storybook, also for pre-K. I had never heard of this until I was buying our curriculum. So excited to get into that one. And this is from More Than Words Return Center. So I don't know where, some of these like, I'm like, what kind of shop is this? I don't understand, but LOL All-Stars, Nathan Hale's Hazardous Tales. My boys are going to love this because they love history, but more important than that, they love comic books. And this is all like history comic book style. So they will be eating this up. I'm gonna have to like not let them know that it's a comic book until it's time to read it. Otherwise they'll read it ahead of time. And then we're down to our last 2 here. Another Goodwill book. And this is another one from that science series, How Do You Lift a Lion? So I'm assuming there we're talking about how heavy things are and friction and gravity and resistance and all the things. And the last one, How to Dig a Hole to the Other Side of the World. I would assume this is also pre-K. I don't remember this one. My husband helped me order some of these, so some of them I'm like, I don't even remember ordering that, but I'm sure it's in there. But this looks interesting. My son will love this for sure. That is all I have for now. I might film another one when we have all of our Abe books in. And then of course, as we get into our Sonlight for this year, I will kind of update you guys on how it's going. Maybe do a flip through if you're interested. So let me know down below if you get any used books for your school year and how you go about that. But also let me know, do you want to see flip throughs of Core D and of pre-K when we get them? I thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.